Hello, my future champions. Today I will teach you about energy. Okay, you must have seen this in your book. E is equal to U plus K, where E is total energy, where U is potential energy, where K is kinetic energy. The term kinetic energy is stored as K, potential energy U. We wrote here. I wrote here. Okay, potential kinetic. Okay, what do you mean by kinetic energy? The energy stored in an object due to its motion, its velocity, its speed is known as kinetic energy. Okay, I repeat, the energy stored in an object due to its velocity, speed, motion is known as K. Okay, what about U? The energy stored in an object due to its position or deformation is known as U. Okay, let's understand the exact meaning of U. Before that, I will teach you the meaning of K. K is very simple. K is very simple. Half mv square, formula. Suppose there is an object like a ball. Okay, uh, its mass is 100 gram, and speed of this ball is 20 meter per second. So now we have to calculate the K of this object. K means kinetic energy. So half m 100 gram, it means 0.1 kg. 100 gram, it means what? 0.1 kg. All right. V square, it means 20 square. Whatever the value will become, that would be in joule, because it's about kinetic energy. Okay. It is too much simple. We have to know what is the meaning of U. Okay. It is so simple. We have to know what is the meaning of U. Okay. Because K is so simple, no issue. So let's start the meaning of U. As I told you, the energy is stored in an object due to its position. Okay, let's understand. Suppose there is Earth. Okay, and this is Earth's surface, and there is an object of 5 kg mass, and you have to lift up this object till 100 meter, and there is a terrace, and you have to lift up this object onto this terrace. Now the object is here, mass 5 kg. Okay, you have to put the object on the terrace, and the height of this terrace from the earth surface is 100 meter. Then definitely you will do some work. You will do work. How much work? Force into displacement. In this case, the value of force will be equal to mg. Okay, mass into gravity. Mass into acceleration due to gravity. Although you know very well, W is equal to weight, W is equal to mg, or you can say F is equal to mg in class 9th. You must have seen this in class 9th. Okay, this is weight, this is the force of gravity, this is mg. F is equal to mg. S, in this case, the S is h. Okay, height. In this case, the displacement is height. So, height. So, to lift this body up to 100 meters, and to keep this body onto this terrace, you worked mgh. You worked mgh. Now, this work will be stored in this object as potential energy, that is U. Okay, so U is equal to mgh. Whatever the amount of work you have done to keep this object onto this surface, that is mgh, that energy, sorry, that work will be stored in the form of u. Okay, so u is equal to mgh. Now I have to tell you the meaning of mgh. If I say the energy of this object at this position is mgh, then what do you mean by mgh, what do you mean by u, and how can you prove that this object has energy? How can you prove that this object has energy? So first of all, you should know the meaning of energy. What is energy? Anything which have ability to do some work is known as energy. Anything which have the ability to do work is known as energy. Now how can you prove this object has energy? Let us prove. Okay, let us prove. Now this object is not here, it is, this object is at here on the terrace. Okay, now suppose there is a person A who lay on this surface, or surface. This is the head, suppose. Okay, there is a person named A is laying on this earth surface. Okay, laying, and this object ha has to be fallen down towards this man. Okay, maybe after this phenomenon, after this accident, uh, this person A got injured, right? Got injured. Definitely, it will happen so. Now, when this object has been fallen down towards this man, then this object uh, affects the man. Okay, this object injured the man. Okay, by how much energy? U is equal to mgh. M 5 kg, G 10. Suppose 10. H is equal to 100 meter. It means 5000 joule. It means at this point the value of U is 5000 joule. Value of U is 5000 joule. Now you can see here this object has been worked. This object has been worked because this object get injured this person. Okay, did injured this person. Okay, it means this object has ability to do a work, whatever the work, but this object at this position has the ability to do work. Okay, so it means this object has energy. So the work which we have done to lift up this object up to height 100 meter onto the terrace, that work will be stored in the form of U. Okay, and how can you prove this object has energy? Because when you fallen down this object towards the earth, then this object affects the man, injured the man. It means it has energy. Which amount? 5000 joule. So it means this body has energy, and in this case this U is known as gravitational potential energy. Okay, now one more thing I have to say. This gravitational potential energy is a reference quantity, is a relative quantity. Do you know why? Let us understand this with example. Why the gravitational potential energy is a relative quantity or reference quantity? Because to measure this quantity we should know from which height we measure it. Understand it? Suppose there is a earth or surface. Okay, earth surface, and there is a table. It's a table, and object of 5 kg mass is present at here, 5 kg mass. Okay, and the height of this object from this table surface is 100 meter, and the height of the same object from the same position but from earth, okay, is h is equal to, or you can say h2 is equal to, this is h1, h2 is equal to 200 meter. And suppose you have to calculate the gravitational potential energy of this object. But for this you must know from where you should get the value of height. Okay, suppose we have to find the value of u from this height, then u1 will become mg h1 m5g10 h1. At this time I'm talking about this surface. H1 is 100 meter. It means 5000 joule. You can see here object mass is same 5 kg. Object situation or position is same, that is at here, this place. But just because of reference level, the value of u will be changed. Do you know why? Let us see. u2 is equal to mg h2. Now I'm talking about this surface. Okay, so m5g10 and h2. At this time I am calculating the value of u from the earth surface of the same object. Okay, now this complete height is 200 meter. Now this will become 10,000 joule. See the values u1 and u2. Okay, this is u1 and this is u2. So in this way you have seen, just because of reference level, it means from where you are calculating the value of u, from here or from here, the value of u changed. It means u of a same object from the same position here, object same 5 kg from same position here, just because of reference level, from where you are determining the value of u, from here or from here, the value of u changed. It means you can say u is completely a relative quantity, or whatever, relative, or what I said, reference quantity. Yeah, you can say. Okay, now I will tell you about elastic potential energy. As I told you, the energy stored in an object due to its position or deformation is known as u. Okay, suppose there is a spring, and this is the normal state of the spring. It is natural length of the spring. Now you compressed it. Now you compressed the spring like this, and to compress the spring you worked. Of course you will work to compress the spring, and also to expand the spring you will work. Now the spring has been expanded. Okay, or you can say extended. Okay, extended. In both of the cases, in first case you pushed the spring or you compressed the spring. The length of this was 10 semi. Its length is 5 semi. The displacement of this spring is become 5 centimeter. Value was 10. Now the value is 5. Difference is 5 semi. Okay, 5 semi. Value of 10 here and value of 20 here. 10, 20. Difference how much? 10 semi. Right? So in this way, when you pushed or compressed a spring, or when you expand or extend a spring, then you must work. You have to do work to compress or to extend any spring. Okay, whatever the amount of work you have done here, that work is will be stored in the form of elastic potential energy. Actually the meaning of elastic is, suppose there is a rubber and you extended it like this. after removing the force, rubber was like this, rubber you extended here, and after removing the force, the rubber will come in its natural position, of course. Okay, so such kind of objects in which after removing the force, the main object, rubber or spring, will come into its original shape or position. That object will be known as elastic object, and this property of the object is known as elasticity, which will you read, which is in class 11th. Okay, so the work you have done to compress or extend the spring is stored in this object or system in the form of elastic potential energy, and the formula of this is U is equal to half k x square. X is the displacement, how much you compressed or extended the spring, and k is a spring constant, which I will teach you in next session, next lecture, next video. Okay, so there are two kind of u, first gravitational and second elastic. Both of the cases I have teached you, so maybe it will be nice lecture for you. Okay, thank you.